shadow work help you in your outer life and with your magic in regards to getting better results from your spell casting. Hi, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, and if you're new to this channel and you want to rediscover the witch or Wiccan within you or become a witch or a Wiccan, hit the subscribe button below so that you don't miss anything. This video is about shadow work, and it's one of my favorite things, shadow work, because having done a lot of it myself and also working with people in regards to shadow work one-on-one, I have discovered that it is incredibly important to how we feel about ourselves, how we live our lives, and how we feel about life. It is so important to our happiness. The most important thing to our happiness is being able to integrate our shadow into our personality, because it's really a part of ourselves that we don't allow ourselves to admit that we have. Now, the shadow's got a lot of different elements to it. One is it's the parts of ourselves we deny that we have. It's the parts of ourselves that we've been told by our family, our tribe, our culture, our schooling, our upbringing, our religion, that we shouldn't be, that we shouldn't exhibit. It's parts of ourselves we don't like about ourselves, that we don't want to have anybody think that we are in any way, shape or form. So we try really, really hard to act in ways that won't reveal that part of ourselves. Yet every human being on this planet has a shadow, and we all share in the shadow qualities with each other. No one is exempt from having a shadow. No one is exempt from having those qualities. It's really about owning those qualities so that they no longer cause a problem. When something is in the shadow, it will come out when you least expect it to. It will come out outside of your control because it's something that you're not going to be aware of, because you've locked it away and it's been locked away for a very long time. And that's what makes the shadow a negative thing in its expression, because it comes out in really extreme ways. It comes out as extreme arrogance, it can come out as selfishness, it can come out as narcissism, it can come out as racism, it can come out at anything that we deem to be wrong and not right. But in understanding these parts of ourselves, which every human being on this planet owns and shares, we can actually, in integrating the shadow, find our power, because our power is in our shadow, and integrate our true selves so that we retrieve our soul selves again, and those shadow qualities that have been somewhat negative cease being negative and actually become the more positive aspects of themselves. So for example, selfishness can become simply self-care. Arrogance can become confidence. These are things that we all want. We'd like to take better care of ourselves. We've been told we probably should take better care of ourselves, and also more confidence and all of that. All of that stuff is to do with healing the shadow and retrieving that soul self that's lost in the shadow. So that's an explanation of the shadow and how it affects us. When it comes to magic, our shadow affects us there too. Because, for example, if you're casting a spell for something and you find that it's a part of your life that something is lacking and you're wanting something, so you cast magic for it. Some magic you may find is easier to cast than others. Sometimes you may not even have to cast a spell. Things will just come to you anyway as soon as you think about them. Or you're thinking about organizing a spell and it comes to you before you've even lit a candle. They're things that are easy to manifest because they're things we don't have a problem with on that shadow psychological level. But if you find yourself struggling with love magic, if you find yourself struggling with financial magic, career magic, or any kind of magic, it's time to actually look into the shadow and see what your shadow is guarding you from, so to speak. If you're doing financial magic and you're wanting to bring more money into your life, but you have beliefs about money that are really quite negative, and being spiritual oriented people, it's really easy to fall into the I hate money trap, or money isn't important trap, or money isn't spiritual trap. And these beliefs around money, using money as an example, are really just our misunderstanding of money and how useful it is to us. So if you are struggling with financial magic, for example, it's time to look at the shadow and see what's going on there, because there may be shadow things that are actually blocking your magic from taking an effect. So that can be either energetically blocking it or actually stopping you from taking the right action as a result of the magic or the inspiration from the magic into bringing what it is that you want to you. And the shadow blocks, those beliefs in the shadow, could very well be what's actually stopping you from taking action. So when I'm talking about the shadow and talking about, for example, the money shadow, so to speak, one way to come to a realization of what that is to look at somebody around you. So it could be someone you know, it could be a celebrity, it could be somebody in the media, or just a generalization about wealthy people, for example. And just write down 3 things about that person or those people that really rile you when it comes to them and money. So it may be things like wealthy people are selfish, people who have a lot of money are greedy, it's not spiritual to want a lot of money. And depending on what your definition of a lot of money is, can actually set a set point for you, so that if you are doing financial magic, you may only attract small amounts of money. You may not be able to attract money to you that's actually going to be really helpful to you to build some sort of a nest egg, or to build something for you so that you don't have to worry about money. So if you look at those adjectives or those descriptions of those people, you know, selfish, greedy, arrogant, all of those things, turn it back onto yourself then and go, well, if I'm really riled by these characteristics in these other people, have I ever been greedy in the past? Being honest, not judging. There's no judgment here. When you're dealing with shadow work, no judgment. Is it possible I could be greedy in some way in the present? And is it possible that in the future I may be greedy at times? Is there ever been a time in my life when I haven't acted in greed? And really getting down into yourself and just looking at times when maybe you had been greedy, times when maybe you had been selfish. And whether you feel guilt or shame over these things isn't what we're looking for. We're not looking for shaming and blaming. We're looking for examples of when you have experienced these qualities inside yourself. And when you can name them, you can say, yes, there are times when I'm selfish. There are times when I'm greedy. And actually start working with owning those parts of yourself and looking for the gift in them. And not just looking for the gift in them, but looking at what greed's protecting you from, what selfishness protecting you from. And in that, you can actually find what's going on underneath the surface and why your financial magic may not be working. Same goes for relationship magic, why that may not be working. If you're judging other people, you're judging yourself for exactly the same qualities. Other people around you are mirrors to who you are. So use them to be able to reflect back to you. And we all understand mirror magic and reversal magic, and that if you're doing reversal magic, we can imagine a mirror around you that reverses the magic back to the sender if they're sending you a curse or anything nasty. People are doing that all the time to us. They're mirroring our shadows to us, and they're mirroring the sides of ourselves that we want to be, the positive aspects as well. But they're also mirroring the shadow sides. So when we have that opportunity to look within ourselves and see when I'm greedy, when I'm selfish, when I'm arrogant, and really look at that and start to own it, the feelings that you'll have towards these other people that used to rile you will no longer rile you. And you might end up finding yourself, your magic starts to open up because you're starting to own that part of you. For example, the greed part. The greed is just you wanting to survive. It's wanting you to have what you need in order to be able to survive. It turns into greed when the scarcity belief comes into it. When you're worried that if you don't hoard everything and keep it to yourself, you're going to miss out in some way, or you're going to lose it in some way. Or you're worried about somebody stealing it because they might take it all and then you'll have nothing. Greed is about the fear of having nothing. So when you understand the gift in that, you realize, okay, that's just actually a normal part of survival. And when you can work with that, it can open you up to receiving more from your magic and also help with regards to lust for result. So try that exercise and let me know in the comments field how you go with that. And if you do want to learn more about shadow magic, and if you want to actually work one-on-one with me in regards to some of the blocks that you may have towards being able to either progress in your career, or you're struggling with relationships or with money or even with health in some way, you can book a free 30-minute consultation with me by following the link below this video, and we can have a chat and see what's going on. And if I can help you anyway, we can talk about how we can move forward with that. Otherwise, join my Facebook page, because I do have Facebook Lives that I also do shadow work on those as well. And yeah, have a look at that. Join the Facebook page, like the page, and keep up to date with what's going on there. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Blessed be.